Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Brian, along with my co-host, Brett.
So,
We're here to actually talk a new show for the page. This is 90 Days Fiancé the Other Way. This premieres on TLC actually right before MILF Manor at 8 p.m. A 2-hour show, but man, it is juicy. I don't know any other way to say it. It is juicy and interesting. Brett, first takes. Have you ever watched this? I've watched regular 90 Day Fiancé, never the other way. So this was definitely eye-opening for me.
I might have seen an episode or two of a normal 90 Day Fiance like 5 years ago, but
Mhm.
other than that, no. I've never literally watched anything TLC until I was commenting on stuff for this channel.
Yeah, I mean, it really what it is it just shows you if you were ever questioning if you're crazy, watch these shows because I think I'm one of the most sane people on the planet after a while. Like the decisions these people are like, what they're doing, what their like logic of thinking is insane. And we haven't even met everyone. Like we were talking pre-show, Brett, and you said we haven't even met one of the craziest people yet, or craziest couples, which is just
Well,
awesome.
yeah. Well, talking pre-show too. So something I kind of didn't even really click in my head was most of the people that are American going else other places are like middle-aged like women from America. So
Yeah. Yeah. I also wonder if I don't know what the history of the show is like the age range, but a lot of these seem like like just before COVID relationships, and they like lived on like these online, like they're just kind of getting hooked on these online relationships, which is probably what all of these are. And if anyone in the comments, if we sound like we're just absolutely like idiots because this has been going on for forever, definitely let us know. But that's just from I've never watched this. So like, we're giving our first takes of
Well,
the
with
show.
that too, I feel like half of them aren't even online relationships. They're like these
Yeah,
people are going to travel to a
that's
country
true.
and
That's
then
very
some
true.
dude
And they
switched them
just get
off for the week.
hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just look. I mean, I can. How many times have you walked somewhere and you just catch somebody's eye and it's like that person's attractive, but I've never ever thought I'd be like, I'm gonna marry this person next week.
I mean, I live in America, so for me,
I
that's
mean, I'm just saying anywhere
unrealistic.
I've been. It's just
They're Sankey Pankies, which is a term
yeah,
I
you're
learned
right.
on the
All right,
show.
we're not gonna do a dive by dive of every moment of the episode. Probably not until we meet everybody. So that's probably enough. Like, well, Super Bowl's next week, so it's gonna be even extended. But we're just gonna run down the couples that we know and just kind of discuss them. So Chris, she's 40 from Alabama, and she is engaged to Jemmy. Is it Jemmy or Jamie?
Jamie.
Jamie from she's Venezuelan but lives in Colombia, and they are a lesbian couple. To me, this is probably one of the more normal couples on the show so far. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Chris is freaking crazy, man. She's been hiding her lesbianness her whole life, living in, rural
Yeah,
Alabama, and she's clearly kind of out there. And her mom didn't even care, so her whole family supports her. And I mean, she's definitely fun to watch, I guess. She might be a little crazy to spend my life with, but watching on TV is definitely a
she's
plus.
very entertaining. She's also
Her,
narcoleptic, which is
yeah.
have you ever met somebody that's narcoleptic?
No, I had to Google what that meant.
Really? There was a guy that when I played like grade school basketball, he would fall asleep during games, like playing. So it's like it's a legit thing.
Just
So
have the ball and just drop
I mean,
it
yeah,
into the
it's
floor.
yeah. So Chris also has two kids. She's been married twice, loves wearing onesies. So it's just and like even when we finally had like our conversations with Jamie, she also liked to dress up. Like her background, she was like a pageant girl, and then she became like a model coach. So I think like their only hangup is really going to be when they're living together because the narcoleptic thing's definitely going to be an issue. It sounds like, but I don't know, man. Based off of like the other couples, I just think I'd have to put them in like probably in the top tier of I feel good about them of the couples that we know.
I feel like they have less options, and also Colombia, at least where it seems they're living, seems modern. So
Yeah,
some of these other couples may be a little less modern. And Jamie, I mean, I know she doesn't like dick, but she's pretty hot. So,
yeah, she's
but,
attractive.
so
Yeah,
I mean, I definitely think Chris is going to be into her, and I think it's really up to Jamie if she thinks like she wants to settle down with, this woman
right.
that's older than her and lives at her
Yeah,
house and stuff like
and
that.
get past the narcoleptic, and I think the one thing that could be they're gonna have to hash about like why Chris was MIA and then like Jamie was talking to somebody else. So that will definitely come up, I'm sure, when they're who knows,
Well, we
like
already know they fight because it happened in the
yeah,
trailer.
everyone, well, they all apparently they all fight and they just are totally fine with it, which is just dumb. Like why I, I mean every relationship you fight, but would you keep talking to somebody you're fighting with that lives on the other side of the planet? Why would you even like it's just dumb. That's dumb to me. So dumb.
Yes.
All right, so I have them in my upper like echelon of actually could make it. Danielle, 42 from New York City. She is a history teacher and her side hustle is like wellness yoga. And she is married to a man named Johan who lives in DR. And this is the kind of thing that we were just talking about where like you just catch somebody's eye. They met at a hotel that she was staying in, who was a personal trainer working there. And then like they proposed 6 weeks later after meeting. And that to me is just absolutely insane.
No, for sure. So he's the Sankey Panky, which is a term I had never heard of.
Yeah, I had to I thank God they explained it because I was like, I don't know what that means.
And then if you Google it, there's movies about Sankey Pankies and things like that. I'm like, wow, this is like a legit like
Yeah.
thing that apparently a lot of them probably do. And
Right.
I think this is one of the more interesting couple dynamics to me because I think she's very opinionated and outspoken, and he doesn't even speak English, and she's basically lying to him. And
Yes.
I think no, like I don't know if he has really options because he's stuck in the Dominican Republic, even though he's like a tall, athletic guy. But like
Mm.
they're living in like a crap hole. Like Colombia from the other couple seemed nice, modern. This is one of the ones where they're like showering with buckets of water
Yeah.
and they have flies on their meat that they have to swat with a flogger.
Yeah.
So this is an
So
interesting one.
I mean that's when you go to these are like the tropical places like where you go on the vacation if once you like when you're driving to the resort that's what you see so like I don't know if that one's gonna work. I think Danielle like I get that New York sucks like I've
Yes.
visited there it's expensive I get that but just move to somewhere else. Here's an
That
idea.
that that's what
Move.
I'm wondering is if that's an option. Like, okay, even if you don't live in the Dominican Republic, move to somewhere else in America that
uh,
isn't New York, because
Move to
clearly
Florida
you hate New
literally.
York. But
Yes,
I've never
exactly.
been to New York, but it sounds very different from other places I've been in America. So maybe you should just go there. Maybe you should
And
move to Stillwell, Oklahoma.
I've been to New York countless times. Just move to Florida. Literally, the
Boom.
equidistant location is Florida. It's you don't need to live in Miami. You don't need to live in Jacksonville. Like you just live in a normal ass town in Florida or anywhere else. Why were you picking the most expensive city to live in? You say you hate it. Move anywhere else in America. I just
I hope they're watching this because Florida is actually like the perfect place for them to go to.
it's perfect for him because
The
people
mix.
speak
Yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need he can have that bridge, and then I actually like him because he's trying to learn English. I think she kind of screwed him over by lying to him. I think that's kind of messed up.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I just they have the potential to work if they live in Florida, and I just
Yeah.
we'll see how this one progresses. I don't know. She's definitely very interesting. Like I love when they talk to their friends and their friends like you are insane like that like gives me life when I'm watching these shows. I mean, Jen's friends were definitely harder on him than Danielle's friends, but man, I'm gonna put them in the. I'm gonna she's they're in my middle because there's definitely worse relationships than this because the Dominican Republic is not that far away if she needs to go back
Right.
compared to the Egypt, India, and who knows where the unknown couple is where the chick's dating somebody named Osama like it's got to
Yeah.
be somewhere in the Middle East. Like
Well,
those are big changes.
like you say about the Florida thing, like I mean, that's pretty much a very good common place where like if they truly love each other, they could go to.
Yeah, yeah, I
Some of these
agree.
other couples, like you were saying, like there's probably not a chance in hell
Geography
they find a middle.
geography matters, and like
Yeah.
yeah, Florida. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm smart. I'm smart, but like that makes the most sense to me.
What are your
Okay,
thoughts though on the meat thing? Because like I know like
what are my
me and
thoughts on
you
the
are both
meat?
pretty OCD and germaphobe, so like
Was I surprised to see bugs on the thing? No. But would I eat it? No. But he has a freezer right there. Like obviously, they just need to have a conversation, and they can really like he has the things. He's just. I think that was more. It just seems
for the show.
staged to me.
Okay,
The
because
meat
that's
was
what I
just
was kind of
out.
wondering for like for the sake of the show, I guess he's pulling meat out of the freezer every day and putting it on the counter so that they can see it. So
Right.
I'm like, is this so he puts it back in and he pulls it out, like, or is this, is this normal, I guess? But even then, it's just like he's just grabbing meat and throwing it on the counter, and
Right.
it's got flies, and
Yeah.
he's even
Yeah.
got like a little thingy that he keeps away
Yeah.
there. So
So yeah, I mean, they have he has a freezer, so they can. I think it was more for show. I think they. That's my opinion on it. I think the production was like, hey, I think you should put your meats out to show Danielle to get no fight. I could be wrong, but it just seems
yeah,
convenient.
yeah. I think at some point I was thinking too, he might be doing it just to make her feel uncomfortable, so that she wants to give him the
Yeah,
meat.
that's also a very good point,
Yeah.
and that's smart of him. So, all right, this now we're gonna start getting into the strange waters. So we actually meet Rishi from India, who is 32 first, who's married to Jen, or they're engaged. They're engaged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't know.
engaged.
I don't know.
Rishi was a lawyer, and he switched over to being I think he's a like a physical trainer, but he says
Yeah.
fitness trainer. I think it's the same thing. Um, Jen, 46, Stillwell, Oklahoma. They met in a hotel lobby on a solo trip to India and proposed in 1 month. Absolutely ludicrous to me. Completely ludicrous.
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
And like I mentioned before, like the friends, she had the conversation with the friends, like, we're like, let's catfish him, which I think is actually smart. Like she doesn't even follow him on social media. Like she's delusional. She's
Right.
absolutely delusional. She said something. I don't know if I wrote it down, but she said something was like tonight's episode where she was like, "Yeah, I think I don't think he would ever do something like that." And like literally, she sends him one message and he's already like hook, line, sinker, like interested. And it's just
You're
she's
talking about the catfish?
stupid. Yeah, I'm talking about the catfish.
No, I think that so the catfish thing, I think that was BS. Like her friend, it sounds like catfish as herself, I guess. And then was
They
like,
didn't
oh,
say that, but I don't
message
think
me.
I'm hoping she didn't.
Well, she said something about like, oh, well, I catfished as like a beautiful woman, and then it was kind of like a pause. So I'm thinking she literally catfished as herself.
You think so? I
Which,
think she didn't because she said she followed him. They already follow him, so they know the pictures and the things. And Jen is just oblivious to it, oblivious on her
yeah,
farm.
I don't know the way he responded to the catfishing. Like, I think if they used pictures of the real woman, like I'm not surprised that he didn't bite. They should have used maybe better pictures, but also the way he did bite or respond, he was like, "Oh, where are you from? Do we know each other? Cool, ghost." And he ghosted her, I guess. Like it was just kind of like one of those things where if I have a social media presence or if I'm a physical, like even if I'm married to a woman or something and I'm a personal trainer that trains women, I'm gonna respond to women
Yeah,
on social media because that's like my client base and stuff like that.
right.
So I don't
She was,
hold any of that against him so far. So we'll see how it
right. Yeah,
goes.
that's a good point. She was also a terrible catfisher. She was just like, I'm attracted to you and I'm interested in you. It's just like not what you want to, whatever. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of faith in it. It sounds like Jen in her past relationships, she is always moving to the guy, has had two failed
Yeah.
marriages. The one marriage, like her friends didn't even meet the guy at the wedding, and it's just like they were made for this type of show.
Yeah. At least now she's being compensated. So she can be on a TV show and
Yeah,
make a
yeah,
mistake or not.
yeah. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in this one. Definitely not my
I
lowest
don't yeah, I
ranking
don't think
one, but
so.
I don't. It's definitely on the lower tier of working to me.
Yeah, I think we saw a few things in the trailers where he apparently had other women. He was doing the same thing too. Plus, he has an arranged marriage coming up that
Yep.
we'll see at some point. So yeah,
Mm.
this one, them
Yeah, and
working
his
out.
parents don't even know about it, which is also just like flag.
I think they're the bottom three of the three we've talked about so far.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
And I was also wondering, so like, do they have running water in India or Dominican Republic? Because both these men are like showering outside with little buckets of water.
That's a great point. I think as we once they really live there, we'll probably know more about the actual conditions. Like we obviously saw Johan's situation, but Rishi will definitely know in the next like episode or two, hopefully.
Okay, because that for me, that's one of the most intriguing things with the other way is like, how do these
Yeah,
people adapt to like literally living in a dumpster
Yep.
in another country.
They're oblivious. They don't think about anything. They're just like blinded by their love. Okay. Let's talk about Gabriel. Gabriel's 32, he lives in Florida. He makes transgender underwear. He is also transgender. And he met is her name Isabel?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's moving to her. And she also what the thing with her is she has two children, but her parents don't know. Her parents like Gabriel. They don't know that he's trans. And apparently they're um I guess I don't even know, like I wouldn't say religious, but they're old fashioned, I guess. So like that's the hang up there. Um Again, I don't think this is another one that I don't think is a terrible situation because it sounds like he's going back and forth because he said in tonight's episode that his green card like days are almost used up and that's like half a year. So I mean their relationship I think the hang up is going to be the parents. It's not going to be a relationship with them.
Yeah. No, he already like lives there. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they already have a house or an
Yeah, they have an
apartment
apartment.
together.
Hmm.
And this is honestly probably, I would say, if I had to choose one to succeed, this is the one I would say succeeds
Yeah,
because they
I can get
both
behind that.
seem like, no, like she knows he's trans,
Right, and
so
doesn't care.
that's not a hang up. And I don't see any other hang up other than like
Yeah,
literally the parents having final
right,
say, which I don't think they will, even if they dislike him.
right.
So
Like
I think Gabe seems pretty cool. So I like this one.
yeah,
Uh,
I have to agree with you. Like, I mean, another thing, like her kids like him.
mhm.
So, I mean, there's so many positives to it working. It just makes these other ones like you watch that one and you flip over to like Jen and Rishi and what's the other crazy one? Nicole and Mahmood, and it's just like night and day difference of like how insane these are. So like I agree with you. I think this might be my number one working next to maybe like Chris and Jamie. But I don't really have anything bad to say that one. I think that one we're gonna have to see how it like develops. I'm sure there's some like little wrinkle that'll come up. It wouldn't be on the show if it didn't happen. That it wasn't that way.
So they did drop the thing that apparently the son doesn't know that he's trans. So I do want to see that
Oh,
happen on the
okay.
show
I'm sure it will.
and
I'm
see
sure it will
how the
happen.
how the son reacts.
Yeah.
If the son even knows at this point, because the kid's
Mhm.
like 11 years old. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I just think
Gabriel.
that's all interesting.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Gabriel's family is worried because he falls really quickly, so that's like something. But again, it doesn't really impact. Like it's more of like the family issue. Okay. The final one that we know about is Nicole, like I said, Nicole Mahmood. This one to me is I think has the lowest success rate.
Probably. Well,
It,
they're the newest one too. So we just got them
I
episode.
know, but man, you you gotta know the cultural differences. Like you can't like it's different. She's like, oh, I love clothes. I love doing this. It's not like that over there. Like you need to like do some research before you. I know you said okay, and like why is he like they're holding each other to a word like in the moment, which is dumb, but like this one's not gonna work. She's already gone over there and came back multiple times. Like she wanted to get a divorce. She can't drink. She can't like hang out with her friends. Like what's going on in your life that this is what you this is like why is this normal to you is what is crazy to me.
I mean, she has to deliver pizzas and stuff in California where it's sometimes hot and sometimes cold, and that's a really
That's
hard
true.
job.
Yeah.
So,
And
I mean,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why she's ready to go to Egypt, where
I
it's
guess.
just as hot as California.
How's she paying for this? Then you know what I mean? Like I don't think it's cheap to go to Egypt multiple times
Yeah, yeah, that's a
on a
good point.
pizza man salary. It's crazy. But
I mean, she resells clothing for, she buys it for
yeah,
40, sells it for
for
20. So
100%,
that's
yeah,
a
100% markup.
large markup on there.
All right, so here, let me just I wrote a couple things down for her. So she's 38, which is also insane, and he's 26. And they met at a fabric store. I love these like where they meet stuff. 5 days after leaving Egypt, he asked her if she really would marry him next time she came to Egypt. And a week later, 6 weeks later, I think it is. It's a week or six. I can't read my handwriting, but it doesn't matter. They went back and they got married. It's just like absolutely insane to me.
What is the incentive for getting married with these people? Like,
That's what I'm saying. because they if that gets him over to America, like you don't know if it's a scam, and I guess that's the point of the
Yeah.
show. Is like,
Yeah,
is
that's
it
an
really
interesting
love or
thing,
is it
I
a
guess.
scam?
With like in America getting married, I'm trying to think of the benefits of that. I guess it's kind of like
Some
you want,
tax stuff.
yeah, it's like financial related stuff in America. Plus, just like at a certain point, you're probably getting pressured from your wife to
Yeah.
get married. So, and then these other countries, it's like why not just date for 3 years and get married? Why are you
Mhm.
getting married in 3 weeks? Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know how to explain it, man. And this one to me, I think is gonna blow up because she wants to dress the way, and it's just there's nothing wrong with what they both believe in because America's culture is different than Egypt's culture, and the fact that they don't even have this conversation, and it's just in passing, like, yeah, I'll wear this, okay, and it's just done is just nuts to
Right.
them. And
Well, this is the most, yeah. This is the most difficult one from that perspective because cultural wise, I'm pretty sure Egypt's like Muslim. So
Mhm.
over there, a lot of like he's trying to get her to wear like all that
Yeah, he's
stuff
trying.
they have
He
to
wants her
wear.
to wear like almost like not a burqa, but I think like you
Yeah.
cover up your face, like your hair, and
And she probably has less rights and things like that. Like
yeah,
I think she said she can't drive over there or
she can't even
something.
speak the
So
language, man. Like, how
yeah,
you gonna move over there? At least
yeah,
like, at least like the Danielle and Johan situation, like he's working on English. She knows how to speak Spanish to some degree. So like,
right.
there's some like I don't know, man. I don't even know what language they speak over in
Plus,
Egypt,
it's
but
like I mean, it's still the same religion and stuff too. So there's less
yeah, I mean, it's
stipulations
just
with some things.
there's so many like hurdles that she needs to jump, and both of them need to jump. Honestly, like I don't know how it's gonna. And another thing that just bugs me is when people keep calling like my love, like they like Nicole and Mamu were constantly saying my love, and like obviously Danielle and Johan were saying like Mia Moore, which is my love, but like it just it doesn't seem genuine to me when you constantly like I can't tell you I don't know if I've ever called my wife my love, and we've been married for 2+ years.
Yeah,
So
I don't know
yeah,
anything about that. So
yeah, I
I'm
just
wondering though why some of these guys aren't wanting to come to America because it seems like they don't even want to come to
except
America. 'Cause
Johan.
Johan's the only one to expressed he wants to come to America, and she's the
Yeah,
only one that's expressed I hate America
I
slash
hate
New
New
York.
York City.
Yeah,
The
so
whole world is like New York
everyone
City.
else, everyone else though, it seems like I mean, they haven't even been asked. They just are
Yeah,
willing to chill
yeah,
where they're at. Where the South American countries seem like normal places, but these other ones like Egypt and India, like I don't think I'd want to live there. And I don't know if
they're
they've
all
asked
yeah,
the guy if he would
and
move.
right, and they're all younger dudes. So we got to see like the dynamic once they're over there. Probably like by episode 6, we'll figure out what's going on. But it just some of these are funny, and like Bill's gonna join us next week, and I'm really interested to see like his input on it, like just because it's just mind blowing. When I was literally laughing out loud on some of these when I was listening to like their reasoning for their beliefs, like the people going over abroad. I was like, it just doesn't even it doesn't even register in my mind. But let us know what you guys think about it because I really enjoy this show. Like I look forward. Sunday nights have turned into like some great TV for this me and this channel. But we'll be back. It's off Super Bowls next week, so we're gonna have all the TLC stuff. So MILF Manor and 90 Day are gonna be 2 weeks out. So we'll be back. Hopefully have Bill on and hopefully have some more like stuff to talk about like in the episode. We'll definitely meet the other couple, which also looked like absolutely crazy to me as well. All right, so definitely check it out. We have tons of stuff on the channel. So you'll find something that you'll like. But we'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about episode 3. So from myself and Brett, see you.
If you made it this long, hit the like button, smash subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, smash the like button.